I know it's ironic that I'm making a video about veganism and it looks like something just died on my head. But I promise it's going to be shaved off soon. So yeah, I have a few points that I think it's really important that we talk about. I think I've got 5 points in total. So I urge you to stay till the end. Number 1 is not more important than number 5. Number 4 is not more important than number 3. Number 2 is just number 2. Let me make it clear as well, like this video is not an attack on one particular person or any particular people. This video is about me and my thoughts and what I think we need to focus on moving forward if we really care about veganism. I know like there seems to be like another ex-vegan every couple of weeks these days, and this video is certainly not about the most recent ones, which to be honest are like John and Maddie, who most of you probably know are very good friends of mine. In fact, they're like family to me. It doesn't mean I agree with their choices, it just means that I still love them as human beings. Maddie's one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and John, I really can't understand right now, but I still love him. But yeah, this video is just about me, my thoughts about veganism in general, my experience, what we need to focus on moving forward from here. The thing I really want to start with, so I guess this is point number 1, is what veganism actually stands for. I think we are, well, I'm not, a lot of people are quickly losing track of this. The word vegan represents not hurting other sentient beings. Not eating them, not consuming them, not using them, not abusing them. Also preserving the planet, doing better things for humans. Because of course our choices have a knock-on effect on the planet, on people, on everything in the world right now. And that is the foundation of veganism. There is a much bigger, and I really want to focus on this, there is a much bigger argument for veganism for the ethical points than the health points. Now this is not me saying that being vegan is not healthy. I believe that being vegan, if you do it right, if you eat a whole foods plant-based diet, and yes there are many ways of doing that which I'll talk about later in the video, I believe it is one of the, if not the healthiest diet lifestyle in the world for most humans, if not all humans. I truly do believe that. But having said that, and I know this is kind of, to start off the video, unpopular vegan opinion, you don't have to be 100% vegan to be healthy. This is a fact. I know many vegans will disagree with this, and this is not me saying that promote's not the right word, accept's also not the right word, maybe it is the right word. This is not me saying that I support people eating any amounts of animal produce, because I personally don't. But I think we run into problems when veganism is used as this, is still sold and advertised and promoted as this cure for all, for health reasons, which yes, it is amazing for many health reasons and just for overall health. But yes, one thing I will point out is that, you know, there can be people who eat a predominantly plant-based diet, eat whole food plants like 98% of the time, and eat a tiny amount of animal produce in your diet. Yes, you can still be healthy. Does it mean I support that? No, but I'm just saying that the foundation of veganism and the word vegan should not be do this because it's just the healthiest thing in the world. Do this because it will clear your skin up immediately. Do this because it's going to alleviate your depression. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Do this because you're going to feel so amazing, you're going to feel euphoric, and you're going to float, and all of your problems in your life physically are going to go away. Anyone that sells you veganism like that is essentially selling a lie. And this is when we can run into problems. Because although I'm the first to admit and promote that a whole foods plant-based diet is great for your health and can alleviate and even reverse certain really chronic health conditions, again, the real foundation of veganism is about not harming other living beings. And I think this is where people are kind of losing track of things sometimes, because they come towards veganism not really understanding what it is, thinking, wow, like, you know, I haven't had the best skin my whole life, it's going to miraculously clear everything, I'm going to lose a ton of weight, I'm going to get really low body fat, it's going to cure my depression and my anxiety. And again, like I said, even though veganism can be great for your health, it is not a cure for everything, because some things in life are just not related to what you eat. This is a fact. The biggest argument for veganism and the foundation of it is the ethical argument. And I'm fed up with people saying, oh yeah, look at me, like, I've included some animal products in my diet and I've gained 5 kilos of muscle. Get the fuck out. If your reason for coming towards veganism was to make more lean gains or lose body fat, then I'm sorry, but you weren't here for the right purpose in the first place. You can get lean, you can lose body fat on any kind of diet. So when you come towards veganism, when you learn about what it is, please educate yourself on the ethical consequences of the choices we make when we eat, when we consume, when we buy, the way we live. You know, it is really a shame to me, and again, this is not about one particular person or two particular, but I would like to say to anyone, if you really, really believe that your health is suffering on a 100% plant-based diet, and let's just make a scenario up that you've had all these tests done and you really, really, like you actually need, again, I don't think this really exists in my opinion with anyone, but you actually needed, or you're gonna die, animal protein, B12 from animals, zinc from animals, then why the fuck are all you people that are stepping back from veganism, why are you not eating oysters? As far as I'm aware, it's likely the oysters are not sentient. So for all of these people that are kind of shying away from veganism, saying, you know, wow, that was a lot of pressure, you know, I couldn't do it anymore, it's a big commitment. Yeah, it is a big commitment, but it's a commitment that I'm fucking proud of, because really, like, our lives are not just about us. I've been a very selfish person in my life for a lot of my life when I was younger, and I think this is one of the reasons why I feel so passionately about it. Just one of them though. No, but seriously, I actually want to know, for all of these people that have said, you know, I needed animal protein, like it's really helped me, I'm getting the direct source of B12 zinc, and a lot of them are still saying, you know, I really still care about ethical reasons, and everything I'm gonna do is gonna be ethically sourced. I just need a bit of animal protein. Why are you not eating oysters? Then isn't that the obvious answer to do, even if they're gross, just because you can kind of view it as a supplement, if they are, so to speak, non-sentient? I don't get it. Another thing I just want to bring up before I go on to my next point is that this thing with fish and eggs. Now, to some extent, I can understand if you had your own chickens, if they were laying eggs that were otherwise going to be thrown away. I'm not saying that I promote that, but if you were to do that, I can see that as, you know, like less harmful. On some tiny amount of level, I can understand the justifying in your mind if like you saw eggs that were in someone's garden that were otherwise going to just be thrown away, so therefore you ate them. Wouldn't do it myself, but I can kind of understand the thinking behind that. But this thing with eggs and fish, as if fish are not sentient living beings. Fish is meat, and the ethical consequences of consuming fish is just as bad as consuming beef or pork or chicken. I'm really, really struggling to understand this one. Again, if you're already struggling and you feel like you need something from the ocean and you need animal protein, go and eat oysters. That should be the least harmful and obvious answer. Don't get it. One thing I really want to emphasize as well is that, you know, life is not, no matter what diet or lifestyle you're following, life is not just about who can have the best skin, who can have the best, shiniest hair, who can have the biggest muscles. I mean, it is for some people, but life is about so much more than that. Life is about so much more than just what we eat, just what we look like. Life is about life. And life includes other living beings on this planet, not harming them, preserving the planet, and caring about it. That is the foundation of veganism. And when you go vegan, you should know that. And I know I already kind of touched on this, but don't expect miracle cures. Yes, veganism is great for so many health issues, and just for great overall health if you're doing it properly and you're eating a well-balanced, whole foods, plant-based diet. But I know so many people personally that have been like, yeah, you know, I heard so many people saying that, you know, if I remove the meat and dairy from my diet, if I eat whole plant foods, if I eat a lot of fruit and veggies, if blah, 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 that it's going to cure my depression. It's not the case for everyone. And let me tell you, that certainly wasn't the case for me either. Like, if you're coming to veganism just for those reasons, just to get a miracle cure, then this is why I'm making this video. And I actually feel kind of not ashamed, but just guilty that I have this platform. And I know I do all kinds of videos on here, and a lot of that is kind of to do with veganism because I share a lot of vegan food, but I don't ever, maybe I've made 2 videos in the past about it, I don't really ever talk about how much the ethical side of it means to me and just how important it is, and that's why I'm vegan, not just for the health reasons. But going back to that point of depression as well, and people coming to this lifestyle as something that can possibly cure everything, it's not going to. And people that are selling it to you like that, I know certain plant-based doctors do. There are a lot of fools on YouTube that do it as well. But not everything can be cured by diet. Just talking in my own experience, like I've spoken many times on this channel that I do suffer with depression. I do suffer with very bad anxiety. I get stupid comments whenever I make those videos or talk about it. I get comments all the time from people who are non-vegan saying, yeah, it's because you're not, it's because you're vegan, it's because you need animal protein, you need B12. No. The reason I have depression, and I'm only opening up about this because I know that other people will be able to relate to this and realize that diet cannot cure everything. You know, the reason I still struggle with mental health is because I was abused very, very, very badly as a child and a teenager, both mentally and physically. Things were done to me that I can't even talk about on camera. And for the last 10 years of my life, I have numbed that pain with drugs and other things. And only now am I starting to actually heal and work on that pain that's underneath. But what I'm saying is, if you come from a past of abuse, that's the only reason I'm speaking about my own story here. If you come from a past of abuse, of neglect, of any kind of trauma, veganism is not going to cure that, okay? So don't expect it to. Veganism can improve all the other areas, maybe all the other areas of your health, but things like that have nothing to do with diet. And you have to work on them personally, and it's hard and it's painful, but just get that in your head, okay? If I didn't understand what veganism was really about, and then I was eating this whole foods plant-based diet for the last 5 years, and my depression and anxiety didn't go away, I would just be like, oh crap, it didn't work, like on to the next diet. Like, number one, that's just ignorant, because like I said, health is much more than just about what we eat. But at the same time, for whatever reason you come to veganism, please understand the foundation of it and what it stands for. I know I've said that 10 times in this video, but I feel like people are losing track of that. People have absolutely abused the word veganism, you know? People have done it for their own, again, I'm not, do you know what actually? Do you know what, yeah? I am talking about one person in specific. You know, people coming towards this lifestyle and for their own personal gain, for their own popularity, you know, they were the new person on the scene, you know, calling themselves the vegan prince, all the attention on them. Then what happens when the king comes along and the attention is no longer on you? Oh, now you're the Carnival King. Yeah, there are people like that that do abuse this word, and it really, really pisses me off. Adding on to those points, some people come towards veganism and literally they are looking for something that doesn't exist. Not only does it not exist through diet, but it doesn't exist at all. Like, they think that they should be some kind of euphoric, floating, like, mystical being. No diet's gonna do that to you. Yeah, it might improve your hair, your skin, your nails, your... just all things in your health. But if you're searching for something that doesn't exist, and doing that through veganism, you're bound to fail. Again, remember the foundation. Now, don't get me wrong. I might sound like I'm alienating or criticizing people that are not 100% vegan. I'm absolutely not. I'm very aware that a large proportion of my audience are not vegan, and that's fantastic because this channel is not just for vegans, it's for everyone. And I also understand that people are on their own journey. Some people might only just be finding out about veganism. Some people can't make that transition overnight. I support anyone and everyone who is on that journey of reducing animal products in their diet. You know, making better ethical decisions, even doing things like using less plastic. We're all on our own journey, but let's not lose track of where the end goal is. One thing I want to share as well, and I guess, I mean, I already touched on this earlier in the video, but one of the reasons why I do feel so passionately about the word vegan and what it actually means and what it actually stands for is because, again, as someone that understands what it is, what it feels like to endure suffering, to experience abuse both mentally and physically, I would never ever wish to or actively choose to inflict that on another living being, whether that's an animal, whether that's a human, whether it's an alien, whether it's any other kind of sentient being. I understand what pain is, and I could never, would never inflict that on another living being. Just wanted to say that. Maybe I've just gone batshit crazy and I'm seeing things differently, but from my perspective, through my lens, that's exactly how I see it. That's exactly why I will always be proud to represent that word vegan. Another thing I want to say as well is that, and I've said this probably 467 times, to be very exact, across many of my videos, is there is not one way of eating on a vegan diet. I'm sorry, but there's not. So anyone that is still promoting like, only eat this amount of calories, you have to eat 100% raw, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like, that is not the foundation of veganism. People are just going to come and try that and be like, oh, you know what, it didn't work for me. That was veganism. No, don't let that be your experience of veganism. Please educate yourself. There are many different ways of eating on a whole foods plant-based diet. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, or that what I do is better than what other people do. In fact, I'm the first one to always criticize my diet, because even though I eat a lot of fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, legumes, greens, like my body is just a big black hole that consumes copious amount of nut butter and tahini, and most people, in fact probably all other people, should not do that. And again, I know a lot of you just know me as a YouTuber, but no, my background is in nutrition, in clinical nutrition, and I've seen it time and time again when people follow one set of rules, whether it's the starch solution, whether it's just only eating fruit, whether it's like only eating a certain percentage of fat, whether it's someone's told them to eat very high fat and they just don't feel great on it, or they just don't enjoy it. Understand that you can build your own type of vegan diet and make it work for you. As long as you're being responsible, getting in a lot of goodness, taking the reasonable supplements, you can make veganism work for you. To my knowledge, there is not some subset of group of people, correct me if I'm wrong, that can't thrive on a plant-based diet, a vegan diet. But what I will say, and just reaffirm once again, is that there is not one way of eating on a vegan diet, and anyone that is still selling you a plan saying this is the way to eat, this is what veganism means, is just doing veganism a big disservice, because even though that may be healthy for some people, it's not going to work for everyone, and eventually it's just going to alienate people. So there are many different ways of eating on a plant-based diet that you can still be healthy on. And this is the beautiful thing about veganism and plant-based diet, is that there are many ways. You don't have to copy anyone, you don't have to follow anyone, just be responsible and nourish yourself. Do what works for you, do what you prefer, but please remember that being vegan is not just about eating, it's about the bigger picture. That's what veganism stands for, okay? It's not a competition to see who can get the leanest, who can get the best skin, who can get like whatever. I could go on for ages. It's an ethical commitment for a good cause. End of.